Yeah, this is awesome B-roll material yet again.
We mostly do that.
Yeah, we mostly do that. Welcome to the TestguruTV. Sitting next to me is the ultimate champion of testing, Jani, Tuna, Haikala.
Hello, and here next to me is Antti Niittyviita, a tireless testing advocate, a trainer, a public speaker, and an author.
And this is a weekly show about mental health in software industry because everybody's happier when software works.
Exactly. Welcome to the show.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Nice. As I understand it, the purpose of the show is to answer questions.
Yes, let me adjust the microphone.
Yes, it's important.
Yeah.
Are you ready to hear the question?
I am.
Yeah. So here it comes. So let's read the question then. How can I test different areas of the product with enough coverage?
Wow. That's a question, like how do I test different areas of the product with enough coverage? Yeah, that's actually there are I hear there are two questions inside the question.
Okay, which are?
I would say it's a matter of deciding which areas are important.
Yeah.
And then it's a matter of deciding what coverage means in this context.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty much actually what I've been thinking about too. So there's kind of questions about the question.
Wow.
Yeah.
Questions about the questions. Who would have known?
But yeah, what are the areas?
Yeah.
How many areas? What kind of software it is? And also, when someone says enough coverage, what is actually enough coverage?
That's true. I would say like now that we are starting to break this question down a little bit into like more details. This is actually not directly answering the question, but first thing that I always do with these kinds of like new questions or new problems is that I try to deconstruct the topic into more bite-sized pieces.
Yeah.
For example, this question, to me, the first impression was that there are two questions inside the question. And by deconstructing it is way more easy to attack each individual thing.
True.
So, but which should we pick first? So, should we go with the areas of the product or topic of coverage?
Yeah, I actually my thought process is I have a sort of three-step process to go through this. But maybe you can first explain your thought process about it, so I can then.
Yeah, the first thing, of course, forced me to break down, like the deconstruct part of the work. Then I usually go with the easier one first, and the easier one here is the categories or the areas of the product to be chosen.
Yeah,
and to me, this is basically a decision about what are our priorities. Yet again, the priorities in our product development, in our business, and in our organization. Which areas of the product are the most important things?
Yeah.
And usually to uncover this priority, which areas of the product are the most important things, I start by asking questions from, for example, the product owner. Questions like, where does the money come from and why?
Yeah.
And that leads me to understand more about the business, who pays for this and why do they do that. So then if our business is generated like I get the answers about how the business is generated, then it helps me to guide my effort into the areas that matter in terms of the money flow, for example. Sometimes it can be user experience, sometimes it can be something like user retention or, for example, accessibility, if it's a public service, for example.
Yeah.
So that leads me to build this like the map of the areas that we're working on, and then it allows me to put them in an order.
Yeah, yeah. So I find that we are sort of, although we are maybe wording it out in a bit different way, I think we are thinking about the same thing. Because my first step is defining the areas. What actually are the areas of the software? So doing a mind map or something like that, and then maybe add to that, add the questioning and talking with people, which areas are the most important ones.
Yeah, you actually said the word mind map because I actually had mind map in my mind.
Yeah.
That's one of the tools I use for like creating this like outline of priorities and areas. Yeah.
Yeah. But then the next step to me is when we're talking about enough coverage, is actually the question is how much time do we have?
Yeah.
What I mean, we all know that it's virtually impossible to test everything ever.
Yeah.
In any case, so you always have to do some prioritizing. So
yeah, it's about the creativity. You always can go deeper as a tester.
Yeah. So finding out how much time do we actually have to do the testing.
Yeah.
Now that we know the areas, and then once we know the available time to do the job, then we can sort of spread that out.
That's
according to the priorities that we have.
And that leads me to think about like coverage in like it can be like this surface level coverage. We have covered all the areas of the product. Yeah. Or it can be this like not the surface but going deep into one area of the product.
For sure.
So deciding what coverage means in different contexts is really critical to be able to then decide what is enough coverage. Because like, for example, we have used 1 hour of exploratory testing on each area of the product. That may be enough coverage in terms of the surface level coverage.
Yeah.
And absolutely. Then when you dive deeper into an area of the product, there 1 hour may not be nearly enough, on your opinion.
Yeah.
And maybe if it's business critical area, your boss might agree. So then that's a discussion based on the area and its priority on the business. Yeah. On what should we actually invest in terms of exactly, you said it, time in this area to build more coverage.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and then the third step for me is planning, time boxing your work. So it's exactly what you said. Just put in different words. But
you actually put it like more like applicable way. You have a tool for it. I have this like impressions and stuff like that, but you have actually a tool for it. So,
maybe it's just for me. It's been more recently. It was still a while ago that I've done this the last time, but yeah.
Yeah, time boxing it's actually an epic tool, not only in testing but almost anywhere else as well.
True. Yeah,
for example, editing videos on TestguruTV. Time boxing may be a great tool, and then covering the content.
Yeah, true.
So you can quickly screen through it and you can go deeper into details and angles and lighting and stuff like that. So it's always a matter of how detailed do you want to go and how detailed is reasonable to do in this kind of in this area in terms of where our business wants to go.
Yeah, true. Exactly.
Yeah. But then about the question, the with enough coverage. That's a hard one because like you have to define what coverage is in different areas, and then how would you measure it? And to me, time boxing is a great way to measure it, but is it enough for your boss or colleagues? So that's a critical question. Yeah. Also,
what kind of tool do you have any tools in mind how to sort of show that coverage to your bosses or your colleagues or designers, whoever are interested in it? How would you show the coverage?
I think that a lot of the time organization who doesn't understand about testing, they expect things like test case lists and stuff like that. So first thing that I would do is to help them understand the importance of, for example, mind maps and time boxing as a tool to measure coverage, and really allow them or try to allow them to like take those ideas as their own. That will take time, and at the same time they may be expecting lists and stuff like that from you. And that's a I would say it's a dilemma for a professional to deal with. And the first thing that I would start immediately advocating the ideas of coverage in terms of these kinds of tools that testers use. And at the same time, you need to try somehow to satisfy their need to feel like in control and certain that we have covered this area.
Right. Yeah.
So
exactly.
So how to do that? And that's an like really important thing, especially in the beginning when you start to brainwash them to use your tools.
Yeah, I would say that you're sort of building trust with them.
Yeah, exactly.
So they believe that you actually know what you're doing, and the whatever information you're providing is accurate.
Spot on.
Yeah.
And one of the things is like this shift in the point of view in terms of for example, I use this like metaphor of berry picking.
Yeah.
And if you have like this test automation, or automated tests, or manual acceptance tests that are really highly scripted and stuff like that, they seem like they are great ways to measure coverage. But what they actually do is that it's when you go berry picking and you always go to the same trail, the harvest is diminishing. So you get less berries every time when you go there.
Yeah.
And that's what brings us to the fact that actually what we do in test automation and scripted acceptance testing is checking kind of work.
Yeah.
And when the organization realizes that it's checking, and it's never a guarantee that there are no new berries in the forest. That creates the realization that we have to do something differently to be able to really coverage, and that like brings it closer for you to be able to sell the idea. For example, investing 3 time boxes of 45 minutes into exploring the forest to pick more berries. So those would be the 3 things to reframe what coverage is.
Yeah, I mean, you can also make that visible. You could make, for example, a dashboard where you have the, I would say, the main areas, main features listed. And then you can sort of mark on that dashboard how much effort have you put in each of the areas. For you, it could be the amount of time boxes, but you can sort of create some sort of way to communicate how much effort has been put in each of them, and also the state of each area too. If they are problematic or ready to test, or have already are ready in terms of testing. So you can make that sort of visible to other people.
Like satisfy the need for like this list kind of metrics. For example, by using like we have 20 critical paths and they are still clean, no berries. And then we have invested 6 slots boxes of time into exploring the forest further, and this is what we found. And this is at the same time you're satisfying the need to feel control and need to feel the visibility. And doing the job that you're actually supposed to be doing, like finding the things that threaten the value of the product.
And actually, after you have been doing that testing, I think a professional tester can also sort of tell from his or her own feelings if this is enough testing for this area. I feel like here we've done enough. On this area, we need to do more. If I don't have the time, can I still have the time to do that before we release or whatever? But you can also communicate your feelings on how much do you think you need effort on different areas, or if we've already done enough on that area.
So we have like lots of tools, mind maps, time boxing, then reframing what coverage is, communicating how you feel about this. And then I would say the 5th one would be, it always boils down to what you said in the beginning, time. So it's enough coverage when you have used all the time invested. So that's all you can do. And then you can say that, it's 100% coverage in terms of what we have as resources. Wow. Did we address the question? How do you feel about it?
I think we've covered it in various ways.
Various angles. If you feel like we need to cover this question in another angle, or if you want to share your ideas, please post your comments next to the video. And if you have more questions about this question or any other topic in software testing quality or life, please don't hesitate to post those on the comments as well.
Are we actually asking now if there is enough coverage on the coverage question?
Yeah, we are. How do you feel about it? Did we use all the time invested into this question? We didn't come up with any kind of a mind map except in our minds. So we broke down it in different areas and addressed each one of them. So I feel satisfied as a tester.
Me too. But how about you?
And this is a perfect moment for you to hammer that like button or the heart button. And of course, subscribe to the channel and share the video with somebody who may benefit from it. Because like we are here to change the world of software quality and bring mental health into software.
Yeah, and very importantly, we do not care about the visibility for ourselves. We care about software testing and quality and mental health.
That would be vain.
Yeah.
That was like really evil kind of a laughter. $1 million.
I don't think we have any affiliates.
Austin Powers. I heard there was like new Austin Powers movie already out or coming maybe.
Really?
I'm not really sure, but that's a rumor I heard.
I have missed that.
Yeah, share that in your comments as well. If you know for a fact that there is a new Austin Powers movie coming, because like I really enjoyed the movies for some reason, like in the olden days.
It was a long time ago though, so I don't know if it still works, but it remains to be seen.
I'm not really sure if you should give it the chance because it may ruin the memory of it.
Yeah.
Anyways, if there is a new movie, we have to see it. So
absolutely.
Maybe we can do an episode about the new movie if it's coming. Yeah. Take care and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.